The first time I talked to someone about Jesus was stressful. The emotions you can feel can go from nervous excitement to that sick in your stomach fear.
Don't worry, this is your body's way of telling you that you're beginning a new adventure. You might feel like a fake or unfit to be having a Jesus conversation because you're not perfect. Don't worry. We are told in the Bible that everyone has sinned and we all fall short of God's glorious standard. Is it easy to talk about your faith?
Depends the setting, but for the better part, yeah, it's easy.
To be honest, for me, no.
To be honest, it can be quite difficult. It can be pretty intimidating.
Yeah, I find it very easy to talk about it.
It's easy to talk about it when people ask you questions about it, but I don't really have much experience with people asking me, so.
Try and slide it in, feel like just some small talk and just see where the conversation goes from there.
It requires courage and it requires tactfulness.
But then it just happens in conversation. I feel like God guides you in that moment and says, hey, now's the time to talk about me.
But sometimes there are people that are very anti-faith.
If the person is not willing to really listen, then it's really difficult to share.
I feel we are now restricted from sharing about our faith without being condemned or without being viewed as unaccepting to the societies around us.
God and spiritual things is not at the forefront of people's minds.
I'm a bit of a reserved person, so talking about something like that is a little difficult.
It can be hard, but I try my best to keep everything as honest and just as genuine as possible.
Remember, you are not alone. Talking about Jesus is an adventure, and the best part of it all is that Jesus promises to be with you. You'll feel less like a salesperson selling Jesus if you build your own personal connection with him. Your personal tag time is important, and you'll be confident enough to speak about Jesus because you've seen what he's done in your own life. Share and talk about Jesus from your own personal experience.
Try to be aware of current events in the news or in the world around you. Starting the Jesus talk can begin from everyday conversation. Pray for the Holy Spirit to help you, then go and talk about Jesus with those you meet.
In your WorldChanger's Bible, there are a list of conversation starters that you can use to bring Christ into an everyday conversation.
An indirect method that I like to use is the word stack. It's a way to make the conversation about Jesus a natural one, instead of trying to force it in. It goes like this. We start with a big brass nameplate. That is my name, and I can ask them what their name is. Around the nameplate is a house with a roof. Ask them, where do you live? And then I share where I live. On the roof is a family waving. Ask them about their family and tell them about my family. Each of the family members is wearing a big round watch. What do they do with their time at work or study? Taking off from the watch is a plane flying. This is where you can ask them where they have travelled or where they would like to travel to. The plane has propellers made out of tennis rackets. This is where you ask them what they do in their spare time. Above the plane is a flashing light. This is where you get them talking about their story, and it also gives you the opportunity to share your testimony. Be aware of the current events in the news or in the world around you. Starting the Jesus talk can begin from an everyday conversation. Pray for the Holy Spirit to help you, then go and talk about Jesus with those you meet.